Dr. Barnett to issue her opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Kerry Simmons, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of Barbados, other ministers, heads of delegation, representatives of regional institutions, staff of the Secretariat. Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure for me to welcome you to Guyana for the 60th meeting of the COTED. Welcome as well to those who are not here in person but have joined us online. You are meeting against the background of many trade-related challenges facing the region and in a geopolitical environment which is changing very rapidly. The recent tariff shocks are a stark reminder of the need for us to diversify our trade and economic relations. We must redouble our efforts to deepen existing and explore new markets and develop new partnerships if the region is to advance its goal of economic growth and sustainable development. As such, the work to address the way forward in trade relations with the United States, the bilateral negotiations with Colombia, and the outstanding certification of the Belize-El Salvador Partial Scope Agreement must be given focused attention. Equally, we need to promote regional production and expand intra-regional trade by updating policies and practices to support entrepreneurship and make trade and business development easier. We also have an imperative to address the impediments to trade and remove long-standing issues of non-compliance from our agenda. I am pleased that a report on the regional industrial policy will be presented to you at this session. This policy can become an important aspect of deepening regional integration strategy going forward, and I urge you to give focused attention as to how it will be finalized and implemented. Excellencies, the region also needs to more efficiently harness the competencies of our regional institutions and work more effectively together to advance the work of the community. Time is short and resources are too scarce for us to continue to work in silos when collaboration and joint effort can save resources, both human and financial, and deliver better results. The Secretariat continues to seek to work collaboratively with our stakeholders, and we will see this when the Secretariat team reports on work alongside partners like the CDB and the CPSO on critical research and analysis on trade challenges. I wish in this regard to publicly recognize the work done with the CPSO on issues of trade advocacy, particularly with respect to the America First trade policy and related actions against certain shipping and maritime interests. Excellencies, this COTED has made progress on a number of issues. For others, finalization of work is possible. Among these is the urgency of advancing the completion and implementation of the revised common external tariff and the community's rules of origin regimes. I commend our senior officials for their preparatory work, and the report, which COTED will consider at this meeting, provides a solid basis to address significant policy questions and deliver concrete and actionable decisions that are time-bound. Finally, Mr. Chairman, I urge this COTED to make full use of the treaty's rules and flexibilities as it addresses the matters before it, especially the most sensitive. I am confident, sir, that under the leadership of the chair and with the valuable contribution of ministers and other heads of delegations present, and through robust, not too robust, just sufficiently robust discussion and engagement, there will be meaningful outcomes from the 60th meeting of the Council, and my team and I remain ready to give you and the meeting our full support. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. colleague ministers, excellencies, heads of delegation, representatives of regional institutions. It is my pleasure to be able to welcome you today to this 60th COTED meeting. I want to begin by thanking the Secretary General and the CARICOM Secretariat as a whole for the excellent arrangements which have been put in place for us in order for us to be able to gather here at the Secretariat and virtually as well. 2 years ago, we could never have imagined the turmoil that the global trading system and the global economy is confronted with today. Our business community is reeling from canceled export orders, the impositions of new and unexpected tariffs, and unprecedented uncertainties. It is in this context that today I wish to underscore the important role assigned to the COTED as the council that addresses the single market and trade and economic development issues that are at the forefront of our community's concerns. Trade and economic development issues were, and I suspect always will be, at the top of this community's development agenda as a grouping of small states. The question of whether our exports can enter markets with the least possible barriers and whether imports reach us in a timely, safe, and affordable manner all impact the performance of our economies and determines whether we thrive or struggle as a community. These considerations must be uppermost on our minds today and into tomorrow as we take critical decisions in our region's interests. Excellencies, our meeting will consider the actionable recommendations of our senior officials who met on the 7th and 8th of May in 2025. I am confident that all the reports from the preparatory meetings of officials and other documentation have by now been reviewed and delegations are fully briefed and ready to work. We are convened here at a moment of tremendous global and geopolitical tension and unease. As we attempt to navigate these turbulent waters, I want to begin by acknowledging and expressing the gratitude to Dr. Carla Barnett, Secretary General of CARICOM, Ambassador Wayne McCook, Assistant Secretary General, Caribbean Single Market and Trade, Dr. Wendell Samuel, Assistant Secretary General, Economic Integration, and General Counsel Lisa Showman, upon whom I will expect to rely to assist us during the course of our deliberations. Now, Excellencies, we have a range of matters for discussion and decision. We will take note of the status of work on the development of COTED draft rules of procedure emanating from the open-ended working group. With respect to the implementation of the CSME, we have work to do on the trade in goods regime, and that, of course, is a mainstay of the COTED's work. And in that regard, we will consider requests for suspensions of the CET received by the Secretary General between the 27th of May and the 3rd of June 2025. We will also consider outcomes of regional consultations on the review of community rules of origin and the use of specifications in the applications for suspension of the CET and the granting of safeguard certificates. We have a member state's request for alteration of the common external tariff on certain paints and varnishes, and an update of a member state's request for an alteration of the CET on hydrocarbon propellants as well. We will also have to consider important initiatives of the Caribbean single market, which need to be advanced and advanced with urgency with respect to free movement of all CARICOM nationals, the community's competition policy regime, the regional industrial policy and strategy, and the assessment of the impacts and potential benefits of the single market. On external trade relations, we will consider multilateral developments in the World Trade Organization, key developments in US trade policy that impact CARICOM trade and economic prospects, as well as regional preparations for the resumption of negotiations with Colombia and Belize's request for certification and approval of its partial scope agreement with El Salvador. On standards, we will consider CrossQ's request for approval of 2 final draft CARICOM regional standards and an update on the ongoing conversations regarding front of package labeling. Additionally, there are several matters for information and update, among which are going to be the implementation of the CARICOM Interactive Marketplace and Suspension Procedure, commonly referred to as SINSUPRO, the implementation of a protocol on public procurement within the community, and progress with respect to the program of support measures for implementation of Article 164 of the revised treaty, among other things. So colleagues, we have a full agenda. And as we work today, I want to urge you that I intend to recognize that I intend to keep our deliberations focused, and that we will proceed agenda item by agenda item, and we will settle the agenda items once we return after the family photo. I encourage brief and focused interventions directed to the issues under consideration, and above all things, let us please be ready to take bold and decisive action on matters that require clear direction from us as ministers in the collective interests of this region. I am obliged to you. Colleagues, I want to suggest that at this point, we give the media an opportunity to withdraw. I believe they're all participating via the virtual space. And while that happens, I'm going to invite us just to step outside of the room so that we can take the customary family photo. That enables us for years to come to be able to reflect fondly on the grouping that gathered here this morning with a view to altering the fortunes of this region for the better.